Right, here we are doing one of the jobs that everyone dreads doing, David. You know, when you know you've got a painting job coming up, you'll almost do anything to get out of it.
Exactly.
So we need a way to make it quick, simple and easy, please.
I think we've got it here. This is the Paintmaster paint pad set. It's absolutely fantastic if you're not a professional painter, but you want a professional finish. It will paint any surface with any type of paint quickly, simply and easily. And all you do is you move your arm backwards and forwards, round and round, and that's the job done. It's simple.
Well, that didn't look too difficult.
It wasn't at all.
I have to say, it was very quick.
Yeah, that's using the large pad. Now, you get 4 different shapes of pads with the kit, and I'll show you them all in a moment.
OK.
You can paint into corners, you can cut in, you can paint emulsion paint, you can paint gloss paints, or, you know, paints now are mainly with water base. So you can paint the paints that actually will go onto skirting boards, onto doors, architraves and frames. You can paint quickly, simply and easily with absolute ease. It's not hard work, it's quick, it's simple. You don't have to pay £150 to £250 a day for a painter to come in. You can do this yourself. And I know that people are going to love this because we've been selling this kit for many, many years, and it is still one of the top sellers, if not the top seller, and it will still amaze and astound you every time you use it.
I've just had a word from above, David, that this is going to be the best ever deal you have seen on Paintmaster on television ever. So you've got to stick around and see what this does and see what the deal is as well.
Definitely.
The great thing is with this is it's speed and efficiency, David. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, it is speed and efficiency. It's very, very quick and simple to use. And if I just show you, you get the tray and you get the roller. So it's very, very easy to load the pad. So you put the paint in the tray. We always advise that you let the paint down. Now, when we say let the paint down, Derek, we don't say, you know, well, we'll cook you a roast on Sunday and then cook nothing. I know that would be letting it down.
It would.
But what we mean is add water. So you add about 15 or 20% water to any of your paints, and then you'll paint smoothly and easily. Now, this is the corner pad. We call it the corner pad because, look, it goes right into the corner. So where you're trying to cut in with a brush, it gives you wrist ache, arm ache, a pain in the neck. You wish that you'd never even started the job. But with the Paintmaster kit, look, you can get right into the corner using that one pad, and for that one job alone, it is fantastic.
It is worth it, isn't it? Because you know what you do at the moment. You struggle, you avoid, you swear, you cover yourself in paint.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. I've noticed as well so far, David, you've not painted yourself.
No.
Or the floor or the surface that you're actually down on there.
And I have to say, in my defence, that, you know, I've got wobbly walls.
That's very true,
It is true. And if your walls are fixed and you're standing around the front, you'll find it even easier than me. But it is so quick, simple and easy to paint with this kit.
All right, David, will you take me through? Because I know that the kit, I've got the kit here over here.
Yes.
And there's actually quite a lot to it. So will you just quickly run through what we're actually getting?
Yeah, sure. There's the large pad. Now, that's the one that you're going to get for painting large areas with emulsion paint. You get 3 of the pads that go with it. So there's the handle, there's the 3 pads. You get the medium-sized pad. Now, that's great for door frames, architraves, windowsills. You'll also do skirting boards with that one. You get 3 pads to go with it. Now, why do you get 3 pads? They are washable, reusable, but a lot of people want to paint 2 different colours.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to, you know, keep one with one colour, put it in a plastic bag, save it till the next day. You can do that, use a different colour or a different pad. And a lot of people, like me, forget to wash them out. And if you don't wash them out, they dry up like a paintbrush. You've got to throw it away. But then you've got your spares. So you've already got 3 of each. Now, this is the sash pad. I'm going to show you this one in a minute. It's a brilliant tool for doing all the small detailed areas, spindles and small detail. You get the 3 pads to go with that one as well. Then the corner one that I've just shown you, that comes with 3 pads. These are self-adhesive pads. The others clip in. This one has a peel-off backing and it sticks on. And when you're done with it, peel it off and put a new one on. Absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant.
You get the adapter for the handle. I'll show you that. That clips into a handle and clips onto the large pad so that you can paint high up on the ceilings or high up on the walls without climbing up a ladder. So it's health and safety efficient. There's your wheels, which go into your trays. You get 2 trays, so you can paint large areas and small areas. So if you're only using a small area amount of paint, use the small tray. A large amount of paint, use the large tray. It's absolutely brilliant, it really is.
That means that you can paint with a friend as well.
Yes, indeed you can. And for that, one reason alone is great, because two people can do that job. Now then, I'm just going to show you on here with the pad. I'm going to paint this very quickly with a bright colour. So what we've got bright colours over dark colours over bright colours and thin colours. And it covers where it touches. So you can see there's no difficult technique, there's no hard work, there's no real complication to this. It is very, very simple.
And that's a bumpy surface as well.
It is. Now, we're going to do a little test in a moment, Derek, and you're going to have a little go with a brush. Because a lot of people say, well, you know, they say, well, hang on a minute, why would I not use a brush to do this job? And let me just show you. I'm going to show you now with this one, and we'll show you with the brush when you come to do it, the difference in the effect with the brush and the roller. This is a plug socket. Whether it's a plug socket or a light switch, you want to get some detail work in there, use that small pad and just go around the edge. And you can see there how that cuts in absolutely brilliantly. Just press it in, move it around. Now again, I'm standing round the back.
Yeah,
so
you'd usually be looking forward at it, wouldn't you? Facing it.
Yeah, I can't quite see what I'm doing, but I think, okay, I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do that one from the front because I want to get a decent finish on it.
Do you know, though, this is the kind of job, though, that usually, I mean, if I'm ever painting a socket, once I've got a little bit of paint on the top of the socket, I think, well, darn it, I'll just paint the whole socket that colour.
Exactly,
May as well.
Exactly. But with this, you don't need to do that. And then I'm going to just take the pad and I'm just going to finish the larger area. So doing that job is absolutely quick and simple. You don't need to unscrew the socket from the wall, which can be dangerous. You don't need to struggle with it. You don't need to put a brush to it and struggle with that either. And there you've got your finish, which is absolutely second to none.
That is phenomenal, isn't it? Absolutely phenomenal. If you think about it, this is the kind of job that we all completely and utterly despise. This makes it quicker. This makes it easier for it to do. And look, this price has crashed, and you get an awful lot in this kit as well. It's crashed down to £29.99. Now, listen, how many times have you gone out, and I've done it plenty of times as well, you go out to a DIY store or, you know, the hardware store locally and you buy a whole selection of brushes. You never quite find the right one. Some are too small, some are too big. You find one that works really, really nicely and then the bristles come off on the wall and everything else. This is great because these paint pads, it's millions of little bristles on here that are doing all the hard work. It's like a million paintbrushes in one, isn't it, David?
It is indeed. And actually, when we'll show you how it compares to a brush, it's a lot larger surface area, and that's why it paints a lot quicker. But when people call us to order this kit, £29.99 is a fantastic price. And what a lot of people do is they order two kits. One for a friend, neighbour or relative, a son or a daughter moving into an apartment or a new house. One maybe because they want to paint different colours, so they want the different arrangement of trays and so on.
Yeah.
And keep it simple, it really is simple, but here's what we're going to do. Call us now, order that kit for just £29.99 and take a look behind you, Derek. There's another kit there.
Oh, there is.
Which we're going to put that complete kit on the top, absolutely free of all charge. You buy one and you get another one on the top, absolutely free. So you don't have to spend 60 quid. It's £29.99 and you've got two kits. One to give away, one to keep for yourself. Fantastic deal, it really, really is. But you've got to be quick, Derek, so stop last.
Right, OK, listen. This is, OK, my producer said to me right at the beginning, this is going to be the best ever deal that you have seen on the Paintmaster Paint Pad kit, ever. And now we have got that. So for £29.99, you have got not just one complete set there, which has, I mean, you've got 3 pads for each of the Paintmasters themselves. So the large one, the medium one, for the toothbrush pad, and for the corner pad, you've got your wheel. You've got the 2 trays there, the larger and the smaller wheel, plus the little adapter there, so you can pop a pole in there and reach up high. But that's not all you're getting for £29.99. I mean, that is £29.99 on its own. But you see this set over here? The one that was behind me, like a Panto. This is another £29.99's worth of value if you think about it, isn't it? But instead of having to come back and spend that £29.99 again when you realise that this is so good that you want to get other people involved in it, that you want to give a set, you know, to your other half, get the house done in half the time, or you've got your mum, your sister, whoever it is that actually needs a decorating job, and you can say, you know what, save yourself some time, some hassle, some swear words, some frustration, some sweat, and get yourself one of these. Well, now you don't even need to do that because it's buy one, get one free. And this is brilliant. Right, the telephone number is down here. Can I say be as quick as you possibly can, because this is while the stock lasts. We have never done a deal like this before. They didn't even tell me. Usually I can have half an idea of what's coming up in advance. I had no idea. And you know, David and I have been talking to you about this kind of product for about the last 15 years or so, and I've never seen a deal like this. Do it now, get it ordered now. We're going to see lots more demonstrations, so don't worry about that. But use the time now to pick up the phone and to give us a call. 0808 123 3333. Remember, we're paying for the call. It will be busy on the phone lines, but just bear with us. You can jump the queue as well if you want to. Go to our website, it's down there, pricecrash.tv, pop in that item number there, 394929, and you can order online, but check that basket out straight away. That is fantastic. Now, listen, when it comes to paint jobs, all I have to do is say those words and it fills me with dread, David.
It does indeed. Well, here's a brush. I want you to have a little go on the panel there. Just take the brush, work it into the paint, and it's dripping and it's running.
Yeah.
So up and down, Derek, backwards and forwards, you'll find that will paint nicely, because that's what a professional uses. But I have to say...
Well, where's the paint gone?
Yeah.
There was loads on it when he gave it to me.
Make a bit of an... You know, if you really get that in there, the only problem is when you come over here, you've run out of paint. Now, if you go and do a course, an apprenticeship for 2 years...
I should stand back now.
You might be able to learn how to paint properly. But as it happens, that's... So you're going to have to go backwards and forwards to the tray, to the pot of paint, and keep reloading. With this pad, you don't need to do that. You draw it across the wheel, the pad is actually ready, loaded, and ready to go. And there's not a lot of paint on there. Look, no drips, no splashes. I couldn't do that with a roller.
No,
couldn't do that with a brush. We'd be covered in paint.
Yeah.
But if I simply go over and I'll pick up the excess paint that you've put on there, and I'll put it onto the panel absolutely nice and evenly. You can paint a room in a fraction of the time it takes to do it with a brush or a roller. You'll do it quickly, simply, and easily. No backache, no arm ache, no wrist ache, no pain in the neck, no wishing you'd never started, and no employing somebody to do it and paying them £250 a day.
Well, I tell you what, the other thing is as well, there's no following around. I'm not going to touch that at all because it's full of paint, but you know what happens when you use a brush like this is quite often then you have to follow around the walls and go, I'm picking out the bristles one by one. And if I just show you for a second, we've got a big paintbrush here. If you have a look at the size that the bristles take up on one brush, and this is a big, what's this, 3-inch brush.
Yeah.
Well, how many times is that 3-inch brush going to go? I mean, it's probably
the
6,
pad
9,
is probably
isn't it?
6 or 8 times the surface area of the bristles of the brush.
Yeah.
And really, you're supposed to just use the bottom third. That's all I know about painting of the brush. So this section here is a fraction of the area of the pad, and that's why the pad paints so much quicker and easier.
And do you know the other thing, just very, very quickly, David, is when you've got these paint pads in your hand.
Yeah.
Your hand is nowhere near the paint.
That's right. They're
all.
nice and comfortable, aren't they?
Well,
and easy
also,
to use.
I'm not covering myself in paint.
That's right, indeed. And when you're painting woodwork, if you're painting gloss paint, oil-based paints, water-based paints, it makes no difference. It will paint quickly and simply and evenly right across the surface without any hard work at all. And just to show you there, you know, without drips, without runs, that job is done, and it's done absolutely fantastically. One of the things I did want to mention, Derek, was that I bought a brush just to show you really the cost of it. Now, this is a large decorator's brush, a 6-ounce pure bristle.
That's a monster, isn't it?
It is a monster. $21.99 for that
Wowzers.
brush. And all it does is one job. Now, your pad, your large pad, is even bigger than the bristles on that brush. So when you look at that, that pad is going to paint a lot quicker and easier.
And just very, very quickly, David, you were talking about letting the paint down, which I've not really heard of before.
No.
We started demonstrating with this. So what are the proportions? Because actually, if you're reducing and watering down the paint slightly, that means your paint's going further and you're not buying as much.
That's exactly what happens. You let the paint down. I'm just going to do this very slowly just to show you how easy it is.
Yeah.
You let the paint down. You take a small amount of paint out of the pot.
Yeah.
and you put water in there, and then you give it a good shake. Always remember, put the lid on before you shake the tin. But basically, about 15 or 20%. So not very much. Take a bit of paint out and add water, mix it up. The paint then goes further. It flows easier. It gets into all the nooks and crannies, and you still get perfect coverage. One of the things you'll notice if you read the can of paint, the instructions on it, will say that the manufacturer suggests that you let the paint down with water anyway. Yeah. But as well, no drips, no runs. If you want to paint patterns...
Really straight lines, actually, isn't it?
Beautiful straight lines. So it's accurate, it's quick, simple and easy. If you want to paint a bedroom, child's bedroom, and make some nice colours and different patterns on it, this will do it for you. Now remember, you wash the pads out. So if you're using water-based paint, you wash the pads out with water, and if you're using oil-based paint, then you wash them out with terps or white spirit.
Stop right there for a second, David, because you and I need a word. Because if you think about it, how much, you know, when you're preparing for doing any kind of painting, you've got that whole list in front of you, haven't you? I need to get this, I need to get that, I need to get another. And do you know what? If you want, you know, good quality paint, that's going to cost you as well, isn't it? So don't spend the money on brushes and trays and this and that and the other, because you really don't need to. The whole of the Paintmaster kit is yours for just $29.99. Now, this is a 20-piece kit. So you've got the large handle with 3 pads. You've got the medium-sized handle with its 3 pads. You've got the 2 trays, remember. You can separate those if you want to as well. You've got the smaller one for smaller areas, the larger one for larger areas. Same with the brushes as well. So you've got the toothbrush kind of brush here, which is much, much smaller for the edge of windows and things like that. You've got the clip adapter, which fits into the large handle, which then allows you to go right up to the ceiling. You've also got your corner pad with your 3 spare pads, and they stick onto the outside, and they're really, really great for cutting in to corners. That whole 20-piece set is yours for $29.99. But hang on, in our best ever Paintmaster deal, you can see I've got a set of these over each shoulder, and you can see buy one, get one free on the screen there. So that's $29.99. That's the kind of deal we're traditionally used to seeing here at Price Crash over the last 15 years. But right now we're doing the best ever deal. You buy this set for $29.99 and you get this whole complete set absolutely free of all charge. It's not going to cost you a penny more. Now, if you think about how quicker and how simpler this makes a painting job, if you're going to save yourself time, you know, often when you need to paint just one room, you have to dedicate a whole bank holiday weekend to it. Do you know what? Life's too short. We want you to be living your bank holiday weekends. Get this sorted. Get your Paintmaster ordered, whether you're moving into a new flat or moving into a new house. Maybe you know someone that is moving into a new place. Do you know what? Do them a favour and get them one of these sets, because I can tell you what, if you've moved into a place and it's a bit of a restoration job you need to do, this is going to make painting an absolute dream. Quick question, David.
Yes.
A lot of people are using these very, very modern, sort of chalky-looking vintage paints. Will this work with that?
Yes, it will indeed. Okay. Anything that, this is the simple way to remember it. Anything that you can paint with a brush or a roller, you can now paint with the pads. Only the difference is you'll paint quicker, you'll paint easier and simpler.
If you look through the 2 windows here, you can see we're calling it our decking.
Yeah.
Can I be doing the decking with this?
You can indeed, and I'll show you something now actually, because pass me that handle you've got there, because we've got the clip adapter in that one. So the clip adapter, the handle adapter really, it clips in and out. So all it is, you just pull it out like that. There it is. Now that will pop in to the handle. Watch, click. That goes in place. You put your handle in there. And then, any broom handle will do it. If you've got a wooden broom handle, give it a good push in there, and then that will paint the walls and the ceilings with ease and simplicity, and you can see that.
Can I just make sure you're not going to be painting our decking yellow? It's new.
No, we won't be painting your
that's
decking.
all right then.
But of course you can paint decking with it as well. So decking wash is usually very runny.
Yes.
So you pour it in the tray. You don't need the wheel for that. You just dip it in into the wash and then just wash it on, and it works as perfectly easily as that. There it is on the handle. So a wooden broom handle, or any type of handle that fits, will go in there, and that will do the job. So absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant.
For decking.
Let's do something a little bit more detailed, Dave, because I noticed there you've got spindles and things. Oh, well, actually, window frames. Now this is a pig of a job, because usually you need to spend the first half an hour with the masking tape right the way around the frames and everything else.
Indeed.
Do I still need to do that with this?
No, you don't actually. What you're going to do with this is use the sash pad, and the sash pad is just going to go along and it's just going to paint nice and evenly where it touches. So just go backwards and forwards very simply like that, and that job is done. Now you want to do a little bit more right up to the glass. Let me just show you that. So you load the pad in the same way from the roller, and then you take the pad, push it up against the glass and just run it along. Now, all you'll see there is the paint going onto the wood and not onto the glass. So you don't actually need masking tape. You don't need dust cloths, but we always recommend to people, first time you use this, use a dust cloth just in case you do drip, paint, because you just have to try it the one time and then you realise how to load the rollers. Very, very simple. But if I just show you, that is absolutely fantastic. It really is.
Do you know the thing with this, and obviously David's doing it backwards, upside down, and not sort of facing the window as you would be. But the great thing about that is that you're actually going over one colour with another, with a paint that's been let down, and you're getting amazing coverage as well. I think this is the thing. Quite often, when you're doing a paint job, you do that first cover with a brush, don't you?
Yes.
And you think, oh, blimey, it's going to take another 2 coats, isn't it? But because the coverage here is so even.
Yes, and because of the way the pad works, because it holds the paint in the bristles. So actually, if you look at this one, you'll see on the yellow here, you'll see the paint is in the bristles on the tip, but you see the black foam underneath.
Yes.
That's to give you the sponginess, to allow that, you can see there, to go into all the nooks and crannies.
OK, so it's moulding.
Yeah, the sponge forms the shape to go into the nooks and crannies, but the paint is actually in the bristles, in the tips of the bristles, which is the correct place for it.
So we've got people at home who've got, I never like saying this word without warning on the screen really, but if we've got wood chip, is this okay for that?
Yeah, it's great. In fact, some of the paint, the panels I'm using are on a very, very bumpy surface, very, very similar to a wood chip, and yes, it does paint it beautifully.
Right.
Now, this is a moulding, so in other words, it's got a shape to it. It's not just a plain piece of wood, and you can see there, just moving it up and down, how it goes into all those nooks and crannies. An absolutely beautiful, smooth and even finish that you won't get with a brush.
I can sense a question from our viewers saying, right, OK, this is great, because, I can see how I can do, the corner with the corner pads and the walls with the flat ones. But what about if you've got something like coving? Then you'd still need a brush, wouldn't you?
Well, it's very interesting, and I'd forgotten to mention this, so I'm glad you mentioned coving, because what happens here, and this, I'll show you actually how the pads clip in and out. So there's the pad popping out of the handle, and there's clips all the way around, and they just simply push into them, and you'll just find a way just to give them a little push like that, and they click into place.
OK.
Now then, take this small pad, turn it 90 degrees, quarter of a turn, pop it back in and watch what happens. Because it's not a perfect square, it's an oblong shape, that gives you the perfect shape for covings and cornices. Absolutely brilliant.
So that'll follow around those...
It will. So where you'd normally get a wrist ache by trying to flick the paint in with the brush and you'd be doing all this business, with this, all you do is just simply draw it along and it paints all the surface in one go.
That's really handy as well, isn't it, if your coving is a different colour to the ceiling and the wall.
And you'll get right up to the edge. What these have as well, they have what's called a leading edge, and that leading edge actually protects the adjacent surface from the paint on the pad. So they've designed this, and we've helped the design as well, with everything in mind. So from years of sort of trying it out and seeing what works, we've figured out that actually what you need is this, that and the other to get a different result, get a best result. Now, when you're painting with this is actually painting over a very dark colour. So all I'm going to do is load the pad. By the way, look, that's evenly loaded. You draw it across the wheel, you draw it across the edge of the tray to remove any excess paint. There's the pad, nicely loaded, and all I'm going to do is place it on the surface and just very lightly move the pad around. It paints where it touches. Now, there are certain situations where you may want to give it a second coat, but on there, that's covering it beautifully. And if you do want to give it a second coat, because you've got such a dark colour underneath, it's unusual that you'd go on a dark colour with something like yellow. But I think you'll agree with me, that looks pretty good.
Listen, this is an incredible kit in terms of saving you time, in terms of, well, it's going to save you hassle, isn't it? It's going to save you headaches as well. You've got $29.99 as the price tag for this one, which I think is incredible. You can see what it can do. It is quicker, it is simpler. It is safer as well. And I think actually, you know, you're $29.99, you're only having to spend that once, and you can do all of those different paint jobs through the house as they come up. You know, if you just want to, you know, touch up a wall, you haven't got to do all of that long-winded preparation to do that. Now, do remember what you're getting here, because we've got the best ever deal for the Paintmaster that David and I have ever shown you in around about 15 years of bringing you this product one way or the other. So you've got this first set here. It's a 20-piece kit as well, remember. So you've got the handles and all of their spare pads. You've got the large pad with its 3 spares. You've got your medium-sized one there as well. You've got the smaller sash pad, again with the 3 replacement pads. You've got the corner pad. That works slightly differently because you stick these pads to the outside of that, but you can replace them. You've got the clip there to clip it onto a handle if you want to go up high, if you want to do the decking, if you want to do a, you know, a floor, if you're painting a floor. You've got your trays for the paint and the roller for $29.99. But not just once. Remember, if you call us right now, look, buy one, get one free. That means buy one complete set at $29.99, and we are doubling up the deal for you. So you can give it to a friend, you can give it to a neighbor, you can give it to a relative, or indeed, you and your other half could say, right, that's it. We're going to do this house from top to bottom. And how much quicker and how much simpler and how much easier is it going to be? And more efficient in terms of the paint as well, because remember that tip that David gave us about letting the paint down by around about 10–15%, which is brilliant. So that paint will go further. So actually, I've just worked that out. So for every 5 pots of paint you buy, you won't need to buy the 6th. Theoretically, so that's going to save you money as well. And paint can be expensive if you go for the really, really good quality paint. Please make sure you call us as quickly as you can, though. Remember, it is a free call, 0808 123 3333. And again, you can see, I love the lightning speed at which this happens, because I'm telling you right now, short of cleaning a toilet, it's probably one of my most dreaded jobs is painting. I avoid it if I can.
Yeah, exactly. And again, painting with a brush can be a bit challenging. So, you know, with the brush, you go on the surface, the paint runs out, and you've got to go backwards and forwards to the tray. Actually, you're getting heavier areas and lighter areas.
Yeah.
The difference with the pad is because it's such a large surface area on the pad, that's going to paint no drips, no splashes. And one thing to see here, this is a plain piece of MDF. It's never been painted before. It's the hardest thing to paint because not only is it very, very flat and smooth, so it's easy to get different sort of patches, but with this, you don't get patches. It goes on evenly. There's no bumps. People say, will it paint a smooth surface as well as a bumpy surface? The answer is yes, it will. And again, I'm standing sort of sideways on, but you can see there, it's a beautiful finish. And it really does cover without dripping and splashing in a matter of seconds.
Now listen, we're about to run out of time on this. David, would you just give me a very, very quick overview, if you will, of what the different paint pads do? Because they're all different sizes and shapes. Just run through what they will do individually for us,
Well,
if you will.
there's the large one. That's going to be for your large wall areas. For emulsion paint, you'll use that one. That will give you great coverage. Remember, it comes with the clip adapter, which clips in and out, and that allows you to put the handle in there as well, so you can use it for the walls at the top and the ceilings as well. That one's brilliant. There's your middle-sized one, which again, if you turn the pad around, you'll get that coving feature where the curve is in there. You've got the corner pad, and you've got the sash pad as well, which is brilliant for doing all the small detail work. You've got the 2 trays, and you've got the roller in there as well. You've got the whole kit and caboodle. And remember, you don't just get 1 pad with each, you get 3 spare pads with each handle. And then you get the extra kit.
Times 2, because you get it all over again for free. Remember, it's just $29.99. The lines will be busy. Listen, David and I have been showing you this product for many, many years now, and it's always, always very, very popular indeed. And here's why. Because if you can paint an area like this, as quick as this, when you're painting over light colours over dark colours over light colour, any kind of paint, you know, and it's such a simple setup job as well. And the great thing is you don't really have to wear overalls and cover yourself in a great big mask and lots of, you know, just awful preparation that you have to do for a job like this. It's amazing. David, thank you again.
A pleasure.
That is
always a pleasure using this kit, Eric.
It is.
It really
it's great.
is.
And now
Always
it's a buy one, get one free, because this is the best ever deal that we have seen on television for this in the history of Paintmaster. So, Listen, get yourself on the phone lines. Remember, you are getting 2 of these sets. So let's have a quick look at the details. Remember, for $29.99, you're getting that 120-piece kit there that you see on the left-hand side. And you're also getting the one on the right-hand side as well. Technically, that's another $29.99's worth of kit there, but we're doing buy one, get one free. The offer cannot last forever, so if you want this, pick up the phone and give us a call right now, 0808 123 3333, or go onto our website at pricecrash.tv, pop in that item number, and you can order it there online as well. Bear with us, definitely do yourself a favour and get this.